Foster, you think a 10-year-old would choose to carry?
In the 10-year-old case, first of all, the Ohio...
No, my question is, would a 10-year-old choose to carry a baby?
In the Ohio case, the Ohio Attorney General said that abortion would have been justified.
Focus on the question, please. Would a 10-year-old choose to carry a baby?
I cannot...
Do you think a 10-year-old should choose to carry a baby?
I believe it would probably impact her life, and so therefore it would fall under any exception and would not be an abortion.
Wait, it would not be an abortion if a 10-year-old with her parents made the decision not to have a baby that was the result of a rape?
If a 10-year-old became pregnant as a result of rape and it was threatening her life, then that's not an abortion. So it would not fall under any abortion restriction in our nation.
Ms. Warbelow, are you familiar with disinformation?
Yes, I am.
Did you just hear some disinformation?
Yes, I heard some very significant disinformation.
Why don't you tell me about that?
Yes, an abortion is a procedure. It's a medical procedure that individuals undergo for a wide range of circumstances, including because they have been sexually assaulted, raped in the case of the 10-year-old. It doesn't matter whether or not there is a statutory exemption. It is still a medical procedure that is understood to be an abortion. Beyond that, I think it's also important to note that there is no exception for the life or the health of the mother in the Ohio law.
I stood here tonight and I made fun of the President of the United States, and I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine, right? It is my great honor to be speaking tonight at the nation's most distinguished super spreader event. No, for real, people, what are we doing here? Let's be honest, what are we doing? Like, did none of you learn anything from the gridiron dinner? Nothing, huh? Like, do you read any of your own newspapers? I mean, I expect this from Sean Hannity, but the rest of you, what are you doing here? I mean, Dr. Fauci dropped out. That should have been a pretty big sign. Fauci thought it was too dangerous to come tonight. Pete Davidson thinks it's okay. And we all went with Pete. Okay. All right, then. Now, for those who don't know me, my name is Trevor Noah, and I'm really honored to be here, honestly. You know, because you could have picked any comedian, you could have invited anyone, but you went with the South African variant. Very on theme. I appreciate that. Just chill. We're celebrating. We're out. You know, get comfortable. Not too comfortable, Jeffrey Toobin. Not too comfortable. And by the way, give it up for Kirsten Sinema. Whoever thought we'd see the day in American politics when a senator could be openly bisexual but closeted Republican, huh? That's progress. That's progress. And yes, it is risky making jokes these days, you know? I mean, we all saw what happened at the Oscars. I've actually been a little bit worried about tonight. I won't lie, you know? I was like, what if I make like a really mean joke, you know? About like Kellyanne Conway, and then her husband rushes up on the stage and thanks me. I just hope we all stay calm. There's many big names here tonight. Yeah, one of my favorites, Ron DeSantis, is here. Yeah. Oh man, I'm actually surprised that he found the time. You know, he's been so busy trying to outmaneuver Trump for 2024. I see you, Ron. I see you, Flair. Yeah, I've seen what you've been doing. Blaming Trump for the lockdowns, distancing yourself from the vaccines that Trump created with his own two hands. Nobody knew how to make vaccines until I made them. Beautiful, beautiful vaccines. Nobody knew how. Not even Fauci. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having me here. You know, I was a little confused about why me. But then I was told that you get your highest approval ratings when a biracial African guy is standing next to you, so... So let me just say, Joe, I'm glad that I could do my part. And hopefully this will work. I'm not actually him, I just did the voice. Think of all the journalists whose careers have been hurt by the Biden presidency. People like Daniel Dale. He used to be CNN's star fact checker on TV every day, but now there's barely anything to check.
center of our nation's power, I can think only of everyone who's been made to feel powerless by their abusers, by a system that failed to protect them. Parents whose children have been murdered by an abusive partner, women who suffered domestic violence yet are not believed, children who've suffered life-altering trauma and post-traumatic stress at the hands of people closest to them. Anyone who's been in those situations will tell you just how far they feel from the power concentrated here in this building. The power to pass laws that might have prevented their pain in the first place. The reason that many people struggle to leave abusive situations is that they've been made to feel worthless. When there is silence from a Congress too busy to renew the Violence Against Women Act for a decade, it reinforces that sense of worthlessness. You think, I guess my abuser's right. I guess I'm not worth very much. That's why passing this law is one of the most important votes you as senators will cast this year. The ugly truth is that violence in homes is normalized in our country. Between 4 and 7 children die daily in America from child abuse and neglect, and 800 children have been murdered by a separating parent since 2008. As survivors of abuse know all too well, victims of our failed systems are not allowed to be angry. You're supposed to be calm and patient and ask nicely. But you try staying calm when it's as if someone is holding your head underwater and you're drowning. Try to stay calm when you're witnessing someone you love being harmed. Try to stay calm if after you were strangled and you find the courage to come forward, you discover that your chances of proving the abuse are now gone because no one took into account the different ways bruising presents on black and brown skin, and they failed to check properly for signs of injury. I am in awe of the parents who, after the murder of their children, have fought to change the law to protect the next child. I want to acknowledge most of all, I want to acknowledge the children who are terrified and suffering at this moment, and the many people for whom this legislation comes too late. The women who have suffered through this system with little or no support, who still carry the pain and trauma of their abuse, the young adults who have survived abuse and emerged stronger, not because of the child protective system, but despite it, and the women and children who have died, who could have been saved. Thank you.
You may have seen this floating around on social media yesterday. It appears to show Russian paratroopers filming themselves as they're invading Ukraine. It's fake. It's actually from 2016, which may have you wondering, how do I spot fake news? First, biggest red flag. Nothing should be in all caps, or if you can tell it's photoshopped. When checking websites, a ton of those pop-ups or banner ads don't happen on authentic news sites. It could be an example of clickbait. Look at the domain name. People steal domain names and do add-ons like .co to the name of an otherwise real news site to trick you. If it still looks legit, look at the About page and Google it. See what you find. A legitimate news story has outlinks. Click them. See where they lead you. In a WNYC handbook way, as they say, garbage leads to worse garbage. If you are truly shocked by what you read, see, hear, some of these fake posts will feed off of immediate emotion, and that strong emotion will make you want to share what you've seen. Look for another news site first to see if it can be verified. Check the date. Oftentimes in a breaking news environment, old clips will get recirculated and aren't indicative of what's actually happening in the moment. Reverse image search comes quite handy these days. Remember, if you aren't sure and don't want to do the work to verify, don't share it. Help a reporter out.
Oh comical.
Amy, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. Steve.
Whoa. Hi, President Obama.
Hey, Donna Marie.
Hi. Okay, this is a fantastic surprise, but they need to like prepare a girl.
No, you know, you got to get a little bit of the candid camera thing going, you know. Listen, it's the 12th anniversary of the Affordable Care Act, and I'm calling around because there are a bunch of people out there who are busy telling their stories and making a difference, and you are one of those people. So I wanted to just call to say thank you. When we passed the law, we knew it was going to have a positive impact, but we also knew that there was a lot of pushback, and the fact that now it's not only survived, but actually is serving more people than ever. The Biden administration is now building on our success in order to expand it even further. That's mainly because people were willing to tell their stories and say why this is important in ways that other folks could relate to.
You literally saved my life.
Well,
Yeah, you did. It turned into a beautiful, beautiful blessing. I tell people this all the time. Yes, I did have cancer. I had the best treatments, though. Everything worked out.
Right.
I was able to become an advocate with the American Cancer Society. I tell my story everywhere.
how old is Anthony now?
He is 6 years old. He is a 6-year-old fireball. He's unstoppable. Through everything he's been through, he is amazing.
Yeah, that's terrific. You estimate that just the initial work that had to be done, that was in the millions of dollars, right?
We totaled it up for the hospital room itself. It was about $2.2 million that was billed, and then for surgeons and everything else on top of that, it was well over $3 million.
Right.
For the first 10 weeks.
Right. I remember when my younger daughter, Sasha, was 3 months old, she had meningitis, and we rushed her to the emergency room, and the doctors described if we hadn't caught it soon enough, she might have had hearing loss and other permanent disabilities. And we just tried to then picture, well, what would it have been like if we didn't have a regular pediatrician, if we didn't have good health care that allowed us to make sure that she was taken care of right away. And, that's your worst fear as a parent.
Most people don't realize the impact of the ACA until they need it.
Right.
And I'm able to get my annual mammograms and such for free, and didn't have to worry about not only the physical health stuff, but the mental health because of benefits. So, and my kids, they're going to have coverage. I don't have to decide, should I go for that mammogram every year because it's going to cost me so much.
Right.
It just enriched our lives so much and taken that burden and allowed us to focus on our health and each other rather than, the stack of bills that come.
Well, the good news is that because of the advocacy of folks like you, your willingness to tell your story, and now it's thriving, and you've got 30 million people around the country who are using the ACA, and when we first passed it, it was reaching 20 million. Of course, there's more work to do because the Biden administration is to make sure that more subsidies continue for a longer period of time, that we're doing more to sign more people up. Mm-hmm. There's still opportunities for us to expand Medicaid in some states that haven't done it. Even with the ACA, folks out there who are uninsured or having difficulty accessing it or affording it, we've got more work to do, but we've got a really solid foundation to build on, and that's because of families like you, so I appreciate it.
All the work that you did to get that through is something that we are very blessed to have as a country and as a family ourselves.
And if, in case your kids don't know what a boss you are, we'll make sure to send this video just so that. So guys, just want you to know your mom's doing great, and which means you should do what she says once in a while.
Thank you very much.
All right. I appreciate you, and a whole lot of other people around the country appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much.